New and disturbing details in the investigation of the shuttle disaster. It's 2 o'clock and I'm Carrie Hill. This is News Brief, Hope College. Just one day before the shuttle disaster, a senior NASA engineer raised concerns that the shuttle's left wing might burn off, causing the death of the crew. Their description of what could happen looks a lot like what did happen. An intense debate raged between the engineers, supervisors, and the head of NASA's research facility, with the attention focused on the left wheel compartment. They decided the top NASA managers did not need to know their concerns. Big news from New York City this afternoon. Officials have selected a design for the World Trade Center site. Construction, equipment, cement barriers will transform that section of New York into a new skyline of angular buildings, pedestrian walkways, and a park landscape. The crowning jewel of the design is a 1,700-foot spiral that will be taller than the original World Trade Center towers, making it the tallest building in the world. With the ever-present threat of bioterrorism in the back of our minds, a lot of people are wondering if they're really protected. Many people have heard the smallpox vaccine they received as children will no longer be effective. More than 5 or 10 years have passed. That may not be entirely true. Scientists at Oregon State University discovered some additional information that causes them to think differently about the vaccination. No one knows exactly how long the vaccine works, but this new study shows immunity lasting up to 40 years after it's administered. The finished study is not due out for another 1.5 years. Coming up next in sports, Division III teams hit the courts with the quest of tournament bids. We've got details next, but first, this word from our sponsors.
Another money-saving secret from Arm & Hammer. Arm & Hammer Multi-Cat Clumping Litter stops the toughest odors on contact, so you can get extra odor protection without the extra costs. Save more, waste less with Arm & Hammer.
Cooks know the freshest mushrooms have tightly closed caps, and the freshest tasting tomatoes say Hunt's on the can, because Hunt's is the only leading brand to flash steam every tomato, so they always taste fresh from the vine. Hunt's, perfectly natural, perfectly delicious. When you have a cold, warmth can comfort you. New Tylenol warming liquids relieve your painful cold symptoms, so you feel warmer and you feel better all over.
In the MIA tournament, Alma at Hope, it was all the Flying Dutch. 14 different Hope players scored. Hope beat Alma 101-75. The winners of that game will take on the winners of the Kalamazoo-Calvin game. Dan Altman, in his last game at Knollcrest, scored 17 points, while Ricky Schultz got 12. Calvin wins 75-62. Hope and Calvin will play for the 3rd time this season. The game is at Albion this Friday. The tip-off is at 5:45. The seating capacity is no more than 1,000. Grand Rapids firefighters battled a house blaze on the city's southeast side this morning. The fire started just before 4 o'clock in the 200 block of Delaware. Fire officials say the house was engulfed in flames when they arrived on the scene. No injuries were reported. Officials are calling the fire suspicious. Well, the 8th annual Wiener Whopper hot dog eating contest was held Sunday to raise money for Paws with a Cause. The winner of a team of 4 from McDonald's wolfed down 52 hot dogs in 15 minutes. In addition to stuffing their stomachs, the winners raised $30,000. The money will be used to train dogs for the disabled. The event was expected to raise at least $10,000, which organizers said would go toward the construction of a new building. This has been News Brief. I'm Carrie Hill.